Wife wanted to work in a restaurant, so I let her. I regret it. Part 3. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. My former father-in-law met me at the door and thanked me. He told me that I had always been a good man and a good husband. He appreciated that I had put the kids first and did look after the safety of his daughter as my ex-wife. I did tell him that I would always love his daughter. Maybe things did not go the way we wanted, but I would not let harm come to her. To this day, I am proud of what I did on this night and what I decided to do to protect my kids and in the end my ex-wife. She lived at her parents' house for about a year until she could get back on her feet. She did get a good job and moved into her own place. She was always a good mother, and her old vitality and spark returned. It was not perfect, but there was some sense of normalcy. She did have a string of relationships that did not go anywhere, and I think she was taken advantage of several times. Several times she would say to me that I was the best relationship she ever had and nobody else could compare. Maybe that was a lot of cheap talk, but I did like to hear it. All that being said, nothing romantic happened again between us and I retained a cordial and respectful relationship with her. I could have been with her again if I wanted but would not take that step. In my heart, I wanted to but was basically scared of being hurt again. During this time, I had dated several women, but nothing serious from the relationship perspective. Several of them wanted more from me, but I was not going to go there. I was focused on work, my kids, and had really no interest in another marriage or a long-term relationship. There were just too many bad memories and I decided that going solo was the best route for me. The years did fly by. My kids did well, attended college, had good careers, got married, and started families. I would see my ex-wife at family events on a regular basis. She would always ask me if I was seeing anybody, and it would always come around if there was still a chance for us to get back together. I always told her no because in life some things stick, and you cannot go away from them. She would always look sad and told me that her decision to leave me was the worst decision and mistake she ever made. She told me there is not a day that goes by when she does not think about what if. She also told me it was especially hard for her at events like weddings, birthday parties, and other family events. She told me that the toughest days for her from this perspective was at the funerals for her mother and father when they died. She was greatly saddened when she saw me there, but I was not there as her husband and partner. She knew that I was a strong man and good husband to her. But, on these days she felt alone and felt great regret. She also felt this way at the weddings for both of our children. She thought they would have been great days that we would have shared together. She asked me if I ever felt the same way. My answer has been that the experience was sad for me, but I decided to move forward and not look back. I always felt that her regret was ironic since she was so sure that true happiness was with a new boyfriend. We are now pushing 60 and I was thinking about hanging it up at work and moving somewhere warm or at least for the cold months. My kids support me and do love their mother. The last time I talked to my ex-wife before moving was at a birthday party for one of our grandchildren. She asked to speak to me alone and we stepped outside. She then became very emotional and upset. She always thought there was a chance that we would get back together. My moving away would signify the absolute end and that she had experienced a lifetime of regret for having failed as a wife. I told her so many years had gone past and that she should not feel that way. I had nothing but respect and admiration for her. She then asked if she could potentially come visit me. I told her that I did not know but would think about it. I admit that every single time I looked into her beautiful green eyes, my heart would melt. On this day she looked exceptionally beautiful to me, and the years had been very kind to her. On this day, I must admit that regardless of what had taken place before, I never felt more intense love for her than I did on this day at this moment. At this point in my life, I thought that maybe I would welcome having a relationship with her again. I would not get remarried, but what did I really have to lose at this point? She did make me happy at one time and my love for her had never gone away. At this point of time in our lives, maybe we can go forward. I have been living in the Carolinas for the winter and my ex-wife did come to see me. Crazy I know, but all of the old feelings are still there. She stayed at my place, and we went and did many things together. I am pleased to report that maybe we are older but learned that we still do well together with that special time. She was there for a weekend but it stretched into 2 weeks and then into a month. One night she started to cry and sob because of what happened literally years ago. She told me that the past several weeks had brought her great happiness and she was so sorry for what had happened. She told me that she constantly thought about what if and if she had wasted her life looking for some type of utopian relationship that cannot exist. I told her that was all in the past and maybe the time had come for us to move on and reconsider having a future together. I told her that I always loved her, my feelings for her had never died, and maybe she would like to come down and be with me permanently. I told her that I was not ready for marriage again, but did it really make a difference at this point in our lives? She agreed, actually never left my home, and things have been going great. The kids had a look of absolute shock on their faces when we told them, but they were also very happy for us. My youngest daughter told me she was not really surprised because she knew that my love for her mother had never died and she had a feeling that things were not over. Some people reading this may think I am crazy for doing this again after so many years, but at this point in our lives there is only love and respect. What happened so many years ago is in the past. Now, when I see my wife, and I admit that I always considered her to be my wife, I only feel love and affection. I think things will get even better and hopefully we will have good years ahead as we head into old age. She really made a bad decision, but that is in the past. I think we both face the consequences, but I look forward to life and moving forward. Perhaps it is hokey, but one thing is important to me. I always thought we were writing a book together but was saddened that we would never get a chance to finish it. I am pleased that we now have another chance to finish writing that book and including the final chapters. Would my wife cheat again? I do not think she would at this stage of our lives. But, age and experience has shown me that all people are a mixed bag. There is good and bad in all of us and one action or decision does not make or break a person. I have regrets also. My regret is that I always loved my wife and I let sad feelings dictate what I decided to do. Maybe I should have just recognized the fact that she is a human being and made a bad decision. Perhaps I should have given this a shot earlier and things might have been better. I do think about what if also, but I'm glad we have this second chance. With that, let me conclude and hopefully I have a perspective that some of you have been able to consider. Here are some of the best comments from our community. Thank you for sharing this amazing story, very well written and I wish the best for the both of you. When we think of what ifs, I can't help but consider that your respectful treatment of her during the 23 years of separation allowed this reunion to occur. Had you been spiteful and mean, and generally provided for a hostile relationship with your ex over the years, things might have been very different 23 years later. Well played. I was reading this and was thinking fuck that, don't get back with her, but in the end, there really was no right or wrong decision. Do what's right for you. You are right in that we are all human and all make mistakes. Hopefully it's a happy ending. Thanks for sharing. Don't mind me just sitting in my office at work with tears strolling down my face. But it made my heart happy to read the outcome. I hope you guys have many healthy and happy years. I'm going to address the at 60 years of age part. You are not dead or dying. You could live another 40 years, or more. Think of yourself at 40. Your entire life up until that point is the amount of time you still have in front of you. Don't sell yourself short and convince yourself that there is nothing in your future. You are only 60. Update end. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.